Are they true? Are these tips and tricks of how to sell on Vinted, do they actually work? Now, I've been selling on Vinted for a little while and it goes okay, it doesn't go the best. And I think because I'm probably doing it all wrong. So I decided to make more money out of Vinted and to get rid of the amount of rubbish I have in my house. I need to learn better skills on how to sell on Vinted. So I've done the research for you. I did it for you, for me too, but I did it for you. I did all this research of the best things you can do and how to do it to sell on Vinted and make a little bit of money. And today I'm going to go through what I've learned, and I'm also going to be doing all the tips and tricks as I talk to you about it as well. Now, I have a huge pile of clothes from myself and my son, and I also told my mum about it and she gave me a couple of items she no longer wants as well. So I've got a bunch of stuff that I need to sell, and today I'm going to talk you through all the tips and tricks that I have learned to help you make a little bit of extra money before Christmas, for a wedding, to put in savings, whatever it may be. Now, this video is going to be in two parts. So this first part is telling you all the tips and tricks that I have learned from doing my research from other YouTubers. So this is the test, isn't it? Is the other YouTubers telling you the truth? Next week, I am going to let you know how much I actually sold and what I sold, so we can see if it actually works. So it's like an experiment. I'm going to test it and I'm going to bring you along with the journey. So first things first, we are going to go through the tips and tricks. Then make sure that you subscribe to the channel so that you can come back next week and you see if it actually worked, what does work, what doesn't work, so that when you sell your stuff on Vinted, you are going to make a pretty little penny. But first of all, I need a coffee. So the first tip is obviously sort out your clothes of what you want to sell and look through the clothes. So you have to look and see if there's any marks on it, whether or not it's worth selling for, even if it's just £1, or whether you think, do you know what, that's probably going to go a lot better in the charity shop. So I have done that. I've gone through my clothes. There were some clothes that were just a little bit old, a little bit too worn. So some of them I threw away and others I donated to the charity shop because somebody might want them there. And then other clothes I've gone through. If there's a little mark on it, I made a note of it and I've made a massive pile. So this is my huge pile of clothes that I need to sell. And I already have some of them on Vinted, but they are not selling, and they've been up for weeks, for months, and they're still not selling. So the next thing I have to do is go through these clothes and look at what is seasonal. So when I'm recording this and when I'm doing this, we are in September. So the summer season is gone, really. And no one's going to be looking online for shorts and summer dresses and things like that. So I've got three choices. I can put it on Vinted and someone might buy it. Some people go on summer holidays in the winter. They may buy it. Or I can put it away in a plastic container and put it in the attic or the shed, or store it somewhere if I can, and bring it out next spring to sell for the next summer if I wanted to do that. But if I really don't want the clutter in my house, maybe the best option is to just donate it or bin it or whatever else I can do with it. So that's the next thing I'm going to do, is I'm going to search through all of the clothes that I have here. What can I keep? What can I sell? What am I going to keep and store away? And what am I going to donate? So let's do that next. So you've just seen me time lapse that because it's pretty boring really, of me sorting through all the clothes. So this little pile here is the summer clothes. Now I am still actually going to list these onto Vinted, and the reason why is because I have a dog coming in December because their owners are flying off to Barbados for a little winter holiday before Christmas, because they are chefs and they work all over Christmas. So they decided to go and have a little holiday just before they start getting really busy. So they're going to Barbados. So if they wanted to buy some summer clothes, they're not going to be able to get them in the shop. They're going to have to get them online. So having a few summer clothes on there might be beneficial. It might not, but we got to give it a try. And this is an experiment to see if these tips do actually work. So I am actually going to list everything I have, and then next week, so don't forget to subscribe, I'll tell you the results of whether any of this summer clothes actually sold in the last 7 days. And I'm really interested to find out if it works. I'm also going to put this large pile, let me just flip the camera around, this large pile of clothes, which is all my autumn winter clothes. I've got coats, I've got dresses, I've got Christmas pajamas, I've got Christmas jumpers. There's everything in here. I've even got a few short sleeve t-shirts for boys, because people do still buy short sleeve t-shirts to put over a jumper. And if they go somewhere with their kids, remember when my little one was a toddler, I would put a short sleeve top on him and then a jumper over the top. Went to a play area, he got too hot, took the jumper off, he still got a short sleeve top on. So I'm still going to do that, because I think a lot of mums will hopefully probably have the same idea. I guess they would. Would you? Let me know if you would. So I'm going to put all of this on. What I am going to do is I'm going to link my Vinted in the description box below. So if there's anything that you like here, then do go and have a look on my Vinted to see if you want anything. There are ranges of kids' clothes and my clothes, and the size range for me will be like 8 to 12 because I fluctuate. And I've also got a few of my mum's clothes in there, which is a little bit bigger, but go and have a look on Vinted because I don't want to tell her size on camera because that's not fair. So my next tip is to now go through all these clothes and see if there are any marks on the clothes and whether or not it's a mark that I can't get off or whether the clothes just need washing again. Once I've done that, I then have to iron everything to make sure that they look good and pristine. Nobody wants to have a wrinkled t-shirt or a wrinkled dress, do they? They want to have something that looks good. Remember, your vintage shop is your shop window. So if your clothes don't look good, they don't have good pictures, which we'll go into in a little while, or if they look all wrinkled up, nobody is going to want to buy them. So I'm going to go through and iron what I can, because some of these clothes don't actually need ironing. So I'm going to iron what I can, and then I'll come back to you and we'll start talking about how to list them and the tips I've got for you there of all the research that I've been watching and learning from to see if they actually work. So this again is just an experiment. Come back next week and see what I've sold and how much I made in 7 days with selling everything that I have here. Okay, so I haven't ironed everything because seriously, I'm going to be here all day and I've got other things to do today as well. But I have ironed a few things and I've gone through to things that don't actually need ironing because, you know, coats and stuff don't always need an iron. I've got about 8 or 9 things that I'm going to list today. And then tomorrow I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to iron a bunch of stuff and I'm going to list it because I saw another tip that they gave me was to not post everything in one day, try and spread it out a little bit, and therefore I'm continually active, which Vinted likes. It's a bit like social media, they like you to be active. So I'm posting 5 or 6 things every single day, then eventually I'm going to be like at the top of their page and people are going to see things when I actually list things on to Vinted. So I'm going to take some photos now, so this is the next tip. But I need to go and get myself a coat hanger, and I'm going to get 2 and I'm going to see which one works better. So I have a wooden hanger and then I have this plastic hanger because I'm not sure which is going to look good. So I have quite a chunky coat that I need to sell. So that probably would look better on here, where on this it might not look as good. But like summer dresses and stuff probably will look better on this one than it would this one. I know that's really picky and people can't be bothered, but it's the little things that make a sale, right? So and I think the right hanger for the right piece of clothing is going to help. Anyway, that was a tip that I was told on one of these YouTube videos. The next thing is to obviously make sure that you're taking your photos in good lighting. So a lot of people, they put them on their wardrobe doors or their front room doors. Now I can't put it on this because as you can see, it's got glass and it's wood and it just wouldn't look quite right. It just wouldn't work. So I'm actually by my front door, which has got like glass panels and stuff in, and I've got a hook, a nail on the wall where a photo frame was. So I'm going to I took the photo frame off and I'm going to put it there and see if the light works better from this point of view. So we're just going to try it and we're going to see. So you want it where the light is shining onto the actual item rather than put it on the door where the light's coming along the back, because it would just look more like a shadow and nobody will buy it. So it needs to be very clear, crisp photos. So let me get this big chunky coat that I have and let's see if I can make it look good. So this is my big chunky checked coat. It's a really nice coat, but I just feel like it doesn't suit me. And if you've been following me, you know that I'm trying to change my style at 40, well, nearly 42, only got a couple of weeks. And this is not the style that I particularly want. Obviously it was once, but it's not anymore. It's always been a little bit too big because it's a medium. And I would say a medium is more like the 12, right? In clothes size, because everything's different, isn't it? So I am going to try and see if I can get this right. So this is obviously the light behind me, that's why I look like ghostly at the moment, but this is my hook just there. And it just needs to hang correctly. And I don't know, I just don't, maybe it's me, I just don't like the coat, don't like it at all. So it wasn't quite working downstairs for me, so I've come upstairs and I've got my landing window and I've got it just here. So that looks better because it's got the light. Now, obviously I've got the wooden doors either side, but I've just cropped the photo. So I'm literally just getting that. The problem I now have is I don't know how to take that photo. So I'm going to have to climb into the landing window and sit there and take the photo because I think I'll get a better shot because I don't want to be too close, but I don't want to be too far away. So selling Vinted is a dangerous game, people. But I think that looks better because it's got natural light. So I'm going to leave it there and that's where I'm going to be taking my photos for Vinted. Now, when it comes to actually taking photos, you want to take a photo of the coat just like this. Then I'm going to turn it around so I can show a photo of the back. Then I'm going to open the buttons and have it open so they can see what it's like on the inside. There is no marks on this coat, so I don't have to put that in. I am going to take a photo of the label and I'm also going to list what material it is made out of. So the more information I can give in a description, the better. So you want the title, and again, you want to put something in there that is relevant, like ladies warm winter jacket or ladies warm autumn fall jacket or whatever it is that you feel that you want to put in there. Put that in the title and then put it in a description. Also in the title, make sure that you are adding the size in the title as well as in the description. Now, one thing I like to add on my descriptions is I also like to make sure that I tell them if it's from a pet or smoke-free home. Now, I'm not a pet-free home because I'm a dog sitter, so there are animals here, but I am a smoke-free home. I also make sure I put in there when I'm going to post it. So I'm pretty lucky, I can post within 24 hours of purchase. So if you purchase it today, I'm going to be posting that within 24 hours. If you think you're going to post it within that time, do it. If you're going to post within 48 hours, do that as well, because people do like to know when they're going to have their item. Next is the colours. You put in the colours that you particularly want to say. So obviously it's just pink and white, but if I've got one that's got several colours in, I always hit the multicolour button because it's just easier rather than list all the colours that there is. You're obviously going to say whether it's a woman's clothes, men's clothes, children's clothes, and the size. It's all very self-explanatory of what to do on Vinted. Just go down the list, click on it, and just fill it out correctly and as descriptive and as close to the garment as you can get it. The more information you give, the more accuracy you give to the garment, the more chance you have of selling. This is all the information that I've been learning from Vinted. Now, I do it anyway, but I wasn't selling my items, so I wanted to have a little bit refresh and see what I was doing wrong. I always put the colour in. When it comes to pricing, I always put it a little bit higher than what I actually want for it. So sometimes it might pay off and I might get the full amount I've actually put it on for, and other times people will give me an offer. That way I'm giving a little bit of room for bargaining. So if people want to give me an offer and really that's what I wanted for it, then I haven't really lost. Also, I put it a little bit higher if it hasn't sold within a week or two, not got many likes, not got many views, then I can go in, I can adjust the price, I can see if there's anything there that I can adjust to make it better to hopefully make a sale. Now, you can bump on Vinted, but it costs you money to bump, and really I don't think it's worth doing. So I don't bump any of my items unless I'm selling it for a good amount of money, because I really just don't think it's worth the money spending on bumping an item. It's just not worth it for me. But let me know what your thoughts are. So the next thing is, what time of day do you post? So what time of day do you post? Now, I like to post either very early in the morning, around 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, because I feel like that's when people are having their coffee, maybe having breakfast, doing a bit of scrolling. Maybe they're gone to the school gate, and while they're waiting in the car to be able to take their kid into school, they're scroll on Vinted, and mine will be at the top because I've just posted it. I also post around lunchtime, and I also post in the evening between 5 and 7, because that's usually when people are coming back home from their work, or they're getting kids sorted out, or they're just taking 5-10 minutes downtime while kids are in the bath, or their husband or the partner's doing bath time. They might have that 5-10 minutes just to scroll on their phone to see if there's anything there. And then if I'm going to post again, I would post late at night, around about 9-10 o'clock at night, when people are in bed and they're scrolling, and they'll be able to see items that I've just posted. So you don't have to post 4 times a day. I usually post once or twice a day, but I haven't been doing it consistently, and I can tell because nothing's selling. So this week I'm going to be very consistent, and I'm going to try all different times of the day, those 4 times a day, to see which one works best for me, and hopefully I'll be able to make some sales. But right now I'm going to take a bunch of photos of these. I'm going to take a bunch of photos of the things that I've just ironed, and I'm going to do the same tomorrow and all week. And hopefully on next Monday's video, you will see how much I have earned in 1 week on Vinted from the tips that the YouTubers gave me. So I am going to aim between £50 and £100. I'm not going to set my target too high, but let me know what you think I would get. So I'm in the window, and that's my back garden with the 12 foot by 8 foot goal. Look how tidy my garden is. Look at my neighbours. So I know you can't see me because I'm like sat in the light, but I sat in the window. There's the stairs if I fall off, so hopefully I will be fine. And I'm going to take some photos of this. That's a really good view. I'm going to zoom in on it, obviously, and then once I took the photo, I'm going to crop out all the doors and make it smaller. And once I've got the photo, I'm obviously going to do a lot of editing of the photo, not filters or anything, because I want them to know exactly what they're getting, but like cropping the doors out either side. But let me quickly take all the photos of Vinted, and I'll come back to you. So I've just took some photos of the coat, and as I was doing it, I thought a few more things that they told me on the YouTube videos that I wanted to let you know. So first of all, I took a close-up of the cuff. I also took a close-up of the actual fabric so they can see that it's quite a thick fabric. I did a photo of it done up and then a photo of it undone. I took a photo of the label at the top, and then I also turned it around and took a photo of the back. So I took as many photos as I could to give them a very clear view of what they are actually buying. And then, as I said before, the description needs to have as much as it possibly can. Do add the materials that it's made out of so they know what they've got coming. There is a material tab on Vinted, so you can put it in there, and I suggest doing that, but also suggest putting it in your description too, because sometimes they don't always look at the description fully. So that is number 1 done, but let's go and do a few more that might have to be led on the floor. On a side note, I have a beautiful Labrador in today called Beatrix. Hi, Beatrix. She is she's so cute. She's 8 years old. She's a bit of a nibbler. She keeps nibbling my hands, but she is so beautiful, and she's keeping me company for this video today, just as a side note. So next up, I have some Minnie Mouse Christmas pajamas that they still fit me, but I just don't feel comfortable in them anymore. So I've got to take photos of those. Now, they're obviously not going to fit on the hanger as I would want them to be. So these might be better by taking photos on the floor with them. So again, the first thing to do if you're going to take photos on the floor is to make sure you've got a nice, clean floor background. So you don't want to put it on the rug, which is lots of patterns and very noisy, if that makes sense. You kind of want it on a very clean background. So I have like a beigey kind of carpet just here, and I'm just going to put those on there. So what I'm doing, because it's a 2-piece, first thing you do is you take a photo of one item. So I'm going to take a photo of the trousers, again, front and back. I'll take a photo of the bottom of the leg, the waistband, and then I'll take a photo of the label. Then I do exactly the same with the top, and then I take photos of them both together, like as you would wear it. Now, You can put the clothes on and take photos of yourself wearing the clothes. They do sell quite well. You can always crop your head off if you want to chop your head off, so you don't have to have those in the photos. I just personally don't want to do that, so that's not something I want to do. So instead, this is how I do it. Again, I've got the light from the front room window, so it's natural lighting, which makes it look good. So I think these ones will sell quite quickly because Christmas is coming and they're Disney ones. So I think they will sell pretty fast. And obviously I'm not posting this for a few more days when I'm actually uploading this. So it might still be up there, it might not. But again, I'll put the link to my Vinted down in the description box below if you want to go and have a look at any items that I do have on sale, if anything there that you would like to buy. But don't feel that you have to, but it's there just in case. I'm only listing these pajamas, which are a 2-piece. Everything else that I have is like a 1-piece. It's jumper, it's jackets, it's dresses for summer. So that's the only things that I have left to post today. And then obviously I've got other things that I'm going to be posting over the next few days. Now, one thing I will say, again, I remember things as I actually do it. I'm going to talk about how you package it and how you send it off in the next video, because obviously I'm not doing that right now because I've not sold anything. I'm just going through what I can actually sell. Now, when you are taking your photos, one tip I learned, which I actually did in some of my other photos, so I now know not to do that, is to not have your hands in the photo, because sometimes like you have to grab the label because it keeps turning up. I don't know if I'm the only one that feels that way, and you hold in the label and try and take the photo. If you've got hands in your photos, actually puts the buyer off. So try and iron out the label or make it flat or do whatever you need to do to make sure that you've not got your hands in the actual photo. So I'm going to list everything else that I've got here today. I have a Mummy Elf jumper, a Donald Duck jacket, and I have a Mickey Mouse jumper. I've got 2 dresses and I've got another jacket to do here. So I'm going to take photos of all of those and I'm going to post them today, and then 5 again tomorrow. And then I'm going to post another bunch tomorrow every single day for the next 5 days until I get rid of that big pile that I showed you at the beginning. And hopefully I'll be making a little bit of extra money. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can tune in next week. But one, see if the tips that other YouTubers are saying actually work and whether or not the items do actually sell, and how much I sell them for, how much I make in a week selling items on Vinted. I am thinking of also doing another video on Vinted, but not actually selling clothes, selling things around the house like books, toys, CDs, DVDs, things that we have that we store that we really don't need anymore. And yes, I some that reason I still have CDs in the house. It's not until you actually need to move house that you start decluttering that you realise how much crap you actually have. But there is a big declutter. So this is going to be a clothes video, how much clothes I can sell on Vinted and how much for. But I am thinking, let me know if you want this video as well, how much other household items sell on Vinted as well, because I don't really sell a lot of household items, toys, books, kitchenware, all that kind of stuff. So if you want me to do that video, then do let me know in the comment box below. So that is today's video on Vinted part 1. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss part 2. And hopefully I'll make some money. But I really would like you to write in the comments how much you think I am going to make in 7 days. I really want to make £50 to £100, but I really like to see what you guys think. So let me know in the comments. If you liked today's video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Share it with someone else that might benefit them when they're starting their Vinted reselling journey of their own stuff. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss next week's video and all the Christmas content that is coming up, because there are almost 3 months to go. I really appreciate you watching, so thank you for taking the time to watch me today. I hope whenever you watch this, you're having a good morning, good day, or good evening, and I will see you on the next one. Bye, guys.